Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So, we like to do this annually, just to remind ourselves how important it was for Srila Prabhupada in terms of the temples, the leaders, the devotees come together and distribute Srila Prabhupada's books, these literatures. This meant a lot to Srila Prabhupada. I have several books here that pronounce Prabhupada's desire for us to distribute his books. This is something that, as a senior devotee in Krishna consciousness, it's so important to speak about this particular service in Krishna consciousness and just try to kind of give that feeling to all of you, those junior devotees that are here in this Krishna conscious movement, and how important it was, the atmosphere and the feeling and the mood when Srila Prabhupada was present physically. It was to please Prabhupada. That was our utmost desire. And the way we showed it is by going out distributing Prabhupada's books in the most awkward, maybe sometimes even the most hellish conditions that one could possibly think. And it was by that sincere endeavor of the devotees that Srila Prabhupada really became pleased. He was very pleased with the devotees at that particular time period. Although Prabhupada was a little bit, frail, he was older. He worked for so many years to come to the point of coming to America to follow the instruction of his spiritual master. So, for us, senior devotees that are there, in the early days, this book distribution is an extremely important part of this movement. And as this society grows, it's growing in a different direction. Previously, it grew just everybody being in an ashram and living in an ashram and taking initiation, brahmacharya, and some becoming household. It was like that. That was the intent. That was what we all wanted to do, get everybody to come and surrender. That's not really reality today. That's not really what's happening. You can see even in our temples. Previously, even in a temple like Denver, when I was a temple president in Denver, we had something like 16 or 17 brahmacharis living in the temple. And it was ecstatic. It was really, really great. But it didn't last. It lasted for a while, but it didn't really, function that way. In India, it's a little bit easier because in India, you can go to some temples and you see 50 brahmacharis. If you go to Delhi temple, I think they have something like 100-something brahmacharis. It's amazing. But in essence, really, in India, that can be happening. But in the Western world, we're seeing that that's not really the fact. That's not really what's happening. In most temples, there aren't that many brahmacharis. A lot of householders. So, on that pretense, we have to do book distribution in another way. We have to figure out how we can, because in the beginning, that's how book distribution was enacted, by the brahmacharis living in a temple, and we'd go out. Balaram, you were a brahmachari here, right? In the early days. What did you do? What did you do as a service? Yeah. That's what we did. That's what we had to do, So it was part of the whole system. And today it's a little bit different. But anyway, I just wanted to make that as a prelude because it's important to see how and what we're going to be doing in the future of Krishna consciousness in terms of this book distribution. How are we going to do it? How is it going to continue? And it's something that should be a must. It has to happen. It has to go on. We can't let that in any way, shape, or form stop. So, I'm going to read a verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 7, text number 128. Yada deka tare kaha Krishna upadesh, amara agyaya guru hoya, tara esha, edesha. Translation: instruct everyone to follow the orders of Lord Sri Krishna as they are given in the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. Now, this is spoken by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Kurma Brahmana. Kurma Brahmana was a householder. He had a family, honest devotee. When Lord Chaitanya came traveling through, he became so ecstatic in the association of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted to leave his household. He wanted to just drop everything and he wanted to travel with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discouraged him. And this was his instruction. His instruction was, instruct everyone to follow the orders of Lord Krishna as they are given in the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, become a spiritual master and try to liberate everyone in this land. So this is what his instruction was to Kurma Brahmana. Instead of traveling with him, just teach people about the Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. And so this is really the future of this ISKCON society, I think. And the purport kind of speaks on that matter, so I'll read the purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. This is the sublime mission of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Many people come and inquire whether they have to give up family life to join the society, but that is not our mission. One can remain comfortably in his residence. We simply request everyone to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If one is a little literate, it can read Bhagavad Gita as it is, and Srimad Bhagavatam, that is so much the better. These works are now available in English translation and are done very authoritatively to appeal to all classes of men. Instead of living engrossed in material activities, people throughout the world should take advantage of this movement and chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra at home with their families. One should also refrain from sinful activities, illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, intoxication. Out of these, illicit sex is the most simple, the very simple. In this way, there will be no prostitution in society. Jai. All right, let's see what's on. In this way, there will be no prostitution in society. One can also produce many nice preparations to offer Krishna: grain, fruit, flowers, and milk. Why should one indulge in unnecessary meat eating and maintain horrible slaughterhouses? What is the use of smoking and drinking tea and coffee? People are already intoxicated by material enjoyment. And if they indulge further intoxication, what is there for self-realization? What chance is there for self-realization? Similarly, one should not partake in gambling and unnecessarily agitate the mind. The real purpose of human life is to attain the spiritual platform and return to Godhead. This is the summum bonum of spiritual realization. The Krishna consciousness movement is trying to elevate human society to the perfection of life by pursuing the method described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his advice to the Brahmana Kurma. That is, one should stay at home, chant the Hare Krishna mantra, and preach the instructions of Krishna as they are given in the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, from that particular point, we'd like to say a few things. Of course, uh, this materialistic way of life, everybody in the world is disturbed and agitated. Even in America, you see, once there was this idea that America was the land of the free, home of the brave, and a beautiful place. But we can see as time goes on, that's not really true. This is not happening even in present day society. So the materialistic way of life, this is very, it causes a burning in the heart, this materialistic life. If you speak to someone honestly, you can see that they're burning, their heart's burning. I mean, one can think that he'll be happy. Everybody thinks they're going to be satisfied and happy. That goes on in all levels. Everybody thinks like that constantly. A rich man, he may feel happy. You know, he's got a lot of money. He thinks he's very rich. He can be happy, powerful. But he's also finding misery. That misery is the body and the mind. It creates misery. What to speak of his subordinates? You know, people that he has to train or work with or support. And what to speak of his body, the body getting old, sick, anxiety, stress. And then what to speak even of his family members who want everything that he has. And sometimes they wish he would die early so that they can get it a little bit earlier in their life. So these are some of the demands out there in the material world. And when we read this particular verse, it was really important for us to think about that verse, because we are distributing a lot of Srimad Bhagavatams, and they're going into a lot of family homes, and these books are going to take shape in the future. They actually will have a pronounced effect on society in the near future. It's described in the Bhagavatam, what is that? I can't remember that. Prayena payusha sabya kalavashme yugejana manda sumanda mataya manda bhagya upadritaha. Yes, that's it. Sorry. It says that in this life, people have but short lives. They're misguided, they're unlucky, they're always disturbed to some degree or other. And they're misguided, and above all, they're always disturbed, above everything. And we can see that in society, that misguided nature is there. You take a look at America today, how it's being guided by so many people, and what is the result? So much disturbance, so much agitation. People in the streets, they're protesting, they're angry. People are so angry they're killing each other. There's so much distress and anxiety because there's no leadership, and whatever leadership is there, they're suffering under the same conditions as the normal people are living. They're also stressed out. So yasya deva para bhakti yata deve tata gurao. It's described that only those great souls who have implicit faith in both the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. So this is automatic. And we can see that for us to give someone a Bhagavatam set or Bhagavad Gita, it gives them that opportunity to develop implicit faith in the spiritual master and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And by that, they become satisfied, or they can become happy. And this Vedic injunction is very important because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he supported that injunction, that behavior, because he simply surrendered to the instruction of his guru. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's guru told him, just go out and chant this holy name, preach the name of the Lord. And he did this. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that it was only by the mercy of my spiritual master. Because of that instruction, I went out, and that was my success. That was the success of his campaign, because he followed the instruction of his guru. So we see that Prabhupada also gave us instructions as the guru at that particular time span when he was present on the planet. And his instruction for us was to go out and to preach, distribute books. And Srila Prabhupada also had the same belief. His spiritual master told him to go out and print books in the English language and preach the Krishna conscious movement in the English language. And Prabhupada, you can see that he believed in the words of his spiritual master. He surrendered his life. And that was, his glory. The words of his spiritual master and the faith that he had in the instruction from his spiritual master, the words that his guru implied to him, it gave Prabhupada the strength and the courage to come to America. On that principle, that instruction from his guru, he came to America and he struggled alone, but he always felt the presence of his guru. Prabhupada always says that. He said, I always felt the presence of my spiritual master. Yeah, even though I came to America, Prabhupada came and he had to do everything alone. He had to cook alone, he had to print the books alone, he had to sell the books. And so this kind of faith, this was actually like a tenet of a Gaudiya Vaishnava belief. The Gaudiya Vaishnava belief is that to serve the spiritual master is non-different than serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They're equal. So Prabhupada's faith in the spiritual master meant that he was also serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And by that, he developed this desire to go on. And Prabhupada said that as he was going on, he was actually feeling so much distress and so much anxiety to fulfill the mission, the instruction of his spiritual master. And Prabhupada also said that a person who cannot keep faith in the words of his spiritual master but acts independently, and that's very important. Prabhupada never wanted to act independently. He wanted to just act under the guidance and instruction of his spiritual master. And if one doesn't do that, one never receives the authority to chant the Hare Krishna mantra properly. This is the outcome. If we don't accept sincerely and with our heart the instruction of the Guru, one cannot chant nicely, one cannot properly execute devotional service in Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada always considered himself to be just an instrument. Prabhupada said that in so many ways, that he was just an instrument, and he was simply a humble servant of the previous acharyas. And he never took credit for himself, never. He always said that it was only by the mercy of his Guru Maharaj and by the mercy of the Parampara, and up to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, for us, we should take seriously Srila Prabhupada's desire to distribute books. We've been doing this for many years here in the New Dwaraka temple. We have to be thankful to Brigupati Prabhu and Sachitanoi Prabhu, so many different senior devotees that have taken up this idea of book distribution and made it their life and soul. There's different devotees around the world that are doing that also, and that's what's keeping this alive. Just like in India is exploding in book distribution. So much, you can just imagine, if you get on the YouTube and you get on the internet, YouTube, you see the things that are happening materially in India. It's phenomenal. The progress that India is making, the power that India is experiencing, and the devotees are going out and distributing tens of thousands of Prabhupada's books throughout all of India. And it's amazing because every year, I'm looking at the scores regularly. How can they constantly be distributing millions of books? It's not thousands, it's not 10,000s, they're distributing millions of books. And I keep thinking, how is that possible? I mean, we're like in Los Angeles and we have millions of people here, but we're not distributing millions of books. They're distributing millions. And India's so much smaller than America. it's just, a portion. What is it? Maybe half as big as the U.S. I don't even know exactly. But every year they distribute profusely millions of Srila Prabhupada's books. And it's exhibited by the fruits of that is, look at India today. It's flourishing. Materially speaking, it's flourishing. And they even say that India could be the number one top country in the world in the next decade. It could be the number one country. And it could be leading the world in so many things. So I think there's some, connection there with that. And you can see even the leadership of India, they're recognizing the Krishna conscious movement. You see Modi, he's associating with devotees in so many different ways. He just recently went and opened up a temple in Mumbai. And that's amazing for the leadership of the country to come to a Krishna temple and open up this humongous, beautiful temple. It's just phenomenally huge and beautiful, isn't it? I mean, you've seen, I'm sure, all the ads, and it's incredible. So, we in America, we have our ways of doing things, and we're trying our best to please Srila Prabhupada. And we can see that for us, it's important to distribute the Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita, and just keep people in their home. Let people stay there, let them have their families, but let's just distribute these books to teach these people how to live properly. And the culture is in there, is India already. The culture is there. It's just been instilled there. But that culture is not in America. It's a whole different culture. So the few people that we can actually enlighten and expect them to come to live in an ashram, that's probably not a reality in a lot of cases. Better that they stay at home, better that they get a Bhagavatam set. And we've distributed a lot of sets in America, by the thousands so far. So it's actually happening, things are going. So I thought this particular verse was very appropriate in order to keep our book distribution going in America. Who's taking books? Sometimes devotees will say, wow, there's hardly anybody in the ashram. What's happening? What's the result of your book distribution? We see that some people are very critical like that. That what good, what have you accomplished? What's happening with your book distribution? You're distributing so many thousands of books, but where's everybody at? Why aren't there thousands of people in the temple? Why aren't there hundreds of brahmacharis and so on and so on? But the point being is that we're distributing these books. And in America, those books are coming into the homes of many, many people. And gradually, in due course of time, they'll take effect. One of my favorite stories is that I used to distribute in the books in the airport. And you made a lot of acquaintances with devotees. And sometimes when it was kind of slow, we would stand there and we'd talk to each other and tell each other how we came to Krishna consciousness. And my favorite all-time story was this one devotee I was distributing with him in Atlanta airport. And he told me that, I asked him, well, how did you come to Krishna consciousness? And he said that, yeah, very interesting. He said that his father used to travel a lot through the airports, and especially the Chicago airport. So his father was traveling through Chicago airport, and a devotee approached his father, and his father took a book, gave a donation. And the father brought the book home. And when he brought it home, he gave it to this devotee. He said, here's a book for you to read. And he said he saw the book, but he didn't pay any attention to it. He thought, what is this? It was a Bhagavad Gita. So he was not so interested. So he put it on the bookshelf. And he said that he was into like bodybuilding. He really was into pumping up, being powerful. And so he said that him and his friends would go down in the basement and they would like lift weights. So they would help each other do this on a regular daily basis or whatever. So he said that one day nobody came over to his house. So he decided to do the weightlifting himself. So he started lifting the weights. So he increased the weight of the the barbell. So he increased the weight, a weight that he's never done before. So he said that as he was doing it, he was lifting it, and when he lifted it, he realized that he couldn't hold it. So he pushed it off. And when he did that, it hit a bookshelf behind him. And from that bookshelf, the Bhagavad Gita hit him in the head. He said it hurt him. It fell so hard. It clobbered him in the head. And then he looked at that. He said he was actually bleeding. He had a little cut in his head. And he looked down and he saw the Bhagavad Gita. And he remembered that it was his father that gave that book to him. And he said he finally picked up that book, he read it, and joined the Hare Krishna movement. And there he was in the airport distributing Prabhupada's books, because that book made him a devotee. So we see that there is a power in this book distribution. It does have an effect. We may not see it. We may not know it, we may not see it, but it's taking effect. These books are in people's homes, and these books are sitting there, and they are spreading the Krishna consciousness movement. And for us, as devotees, we shouldn't think, well, okay, we don't have 500 people in the temple room here. That's not the point. The point is, as we see what Lord Chaitanya's instruction was. His instruction was, stay home, maintain your family, read the Srimad Bhagavatam, read the Bhagavad Gita, and from that, one will become Krishna conscious. And that's what we have to see. And if there's some great soul who really wants to come to the temple, or great Mataji that wants to come and surrender to Krishna, we're here for them. We can give them opportunity to carry out their desire for Krishna consciousness. So that's basically the process. Okay, so I asked Brigapati and Sachitananda Prabhu to please speak a few things about this Krishna conscious book distribution. So maybe Brigapati, you want to say some words? Maybe we can give him a microphone and he can say a few words. Since he's out there distributing so many books, him and Sachitananda. Also, we have to thank Prem Sankirtan Prabhu. He's been a staunch book distributor for many years. So he's been here in Dwaraka. How long have you been here? How much? 25? 30, 34 years. 34, 35 years he's been in Dwaraka distributing Prabhupada's books. Hari Bol. Okay, Brigapati Prabhu.
Okay, so I'll start by reading a quote from Srila Prabhupada. He says, I want all my students to try very vigorously for book distribution. Do not hesitate to use your American and European brains to increase. That is Krishna's special gift to you. Now use it. Any activity which will please Krishna should be accepted favorably. This is our guiding principle. Now apply it in this way. By doing everything and anything for spreading Krishna conscious literature, that is really pleasing to Krishna. Know it for certain. So that's a pretty clear, definitive statement by Srila Prabhupada. So I guess everybody's noticed, these pictures here. These aren't, most of them about book distribution, but they're from the Krishna Life devotees. But from this, you could see that the books are going out. Actually, book distribution has been taken to another level in the last 5 years, because prior to 5 years ago, we were just distributing like a book or 2 books, and literally, at least for the last few years, these devotees have been distributing, as you can see, these packs of like 7 hardcover books, and in many cases they get the people to take a whole set of Srimad Bhagavatams. So this is previously something we thought was impossible. But Prabhupada did say, impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary. And these devotees obviously didn't know that it was impossible, so they just gone ahead and did it. And on that note, I'd like to read something that Krishna says to Arjuna in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. He says, "Time I am the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people. With the exception of you, the Pandavas, all the soldiers here on both sides will be slain. Therefore, get up, prepare to fight and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Savyasachi, can be but an instrument in the fight." Last little part here. He says, "Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies." So it's an analogy. It's already happened. You know, these books are going to be distributed. You're seeing it with your own 2 eyes right there. It's happening. And it's just a question of, are we going to, as it says here, be an instrument? Krishna is telling Arjuna, the books are already distributed by Lord Chaitanya's arrangement, Prabhupada's arrangement, the arrangement of the predecessor acharyas. And us, we can be an instrument, and so it's up to us. We could take this whole, it's going to happen. It's already happening. And you're seeing it. You're seeing pictures of it happening. And we could jump on board and be part of it, or we can just ignore it, make believe like, oh, well, it's not really, and miss out altogether. It's entirely up to us. So I would like to recommend that. Actually, the devotee who's primarily responsible for this, taking book distribution to the next level, and it's sort of an integral part of this, what I consider to be a book distribution revolution here in North America, Mahatsa Prabhu. He's going to be here on Monday. He's going to be giving a Bhagavatam class, and then he's going to be leaving shortly thereafter. So, yeah, we should try to, take advantage of that association, take advantage of what these devotees, the inspiration these devotees are providing. Actually, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, and they have like now nearly 10,000 pictures like this. So what's that? 10,000? It's like 10 million words. But yeah, it can be done. It can be done, and it's not like they can do it. No, we should be getting into this as well. I mean, some of us are kind of like on the tail end of our career as book distributors. I'm thinking, maybe not, hopefully not. But I'm really trying to talk to everybody in this room here, especially the younger devotees. Think about it. He's made book distributors out of devotees that didn't think they, were cut out for that. And, by his example and his inspiration, they're doing it too. He's the biggest, but there's like a half a dozen or a dozen other devotees. Some here in America. He's trained up devotees in Hungary. Last night I gave a class to some devotees and disciples of Mahaduri Swami in Russia, and they've invited him to come over there. So it's happening, and we should jump on board and become part of it. Get this thing. New Dwaraka. We're distributing books, but we could take it to another level, like they've already done, just following their footsteps.
Yeah.
So that's what I have to say.
So, thank you very much. This kind of reminds me that, if we live and follow the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can live in the company of the Lord. And then if we follow the instructions given to us by Srila Prabhupada, we're going to please Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that means that we will be in the company of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So these are this is a very pivotal point in the Krishna conscious movement at this point, because as we see, it's a different kind of atmosphere than what Brigupati was speaking about. Not totally, because this is obviously the way it was in the old days, so to speak. And Mahotsava Prabhu and his team are actually exhibiting that. But on an overall scale, things have come a little different these days, a little bit different. And instead of thinking about making a lot of people in the temple, we should put these books in their homes. The Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. That's what we should be striving for. And I think by going to the universities, like you Prabhus are doing, giving these books to the students, it's planting a seed. And eventually, they'll also come closer to Krishna consciousness. Jai. So, Sachitanoi Prabhu, please give us some nice information.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. And actually, for me, this is very important, just to remind me how I came to this Krishna consciousness. For first time, I was not planning at all to join any religious organization. I don't have any little tiny inch of desire to even, do this. So I was met by a compassionate devotee under the orders of Srila Prabhupada to receive a book. But what it struck me the most is not just distributing the books. It was that actually this person was interested in me to come and join the family of Krishna consciousness. So that's the second part that we have to work on. Not just to give the books. You can give thousands of books. People will take them. They read it, maybe yes, maybe not. The cultivation, the second part is the most important. And that devotee, I remember it to the present time, is my Guru Pradarshaka person. So, with your permission, Prabhu, I just want to, I'm going to do something a little bit slightly different.
No problem.
Just to remind us, where do we get all this inspiration? We want to honor these great personalities because our gurus, our predecessors, got the inspiration from them. And I just want to sing and you can follow, repeat that. Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno Sadharma Sanstapako Lokanang Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manyo Saranjakaro Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Nandena Mataliko Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghujago Sri Jiva Gopalako Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghujago Sri Jiva Gopalako. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunadas Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus they are honored all over the three worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of, because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Radha and Krishna. So 500 years ago, more or less, these personalities were instructed directly by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Rupa, especially Sri Rupa and Sri Sanatan, to write these books. And what happened after those books were written? They were not just to serve as decoration or put it in the home. Of course, these books, even at that point, they can bless the rooms of the house of the person, but to read them. So when they finished writing all these books, immediately after that, Srila Jiva Goswami took up the next step, and he inspired Sri Narottam Das Thakur, Shyamananda Prabhu, and Srinivasacharya. They are actually the first book distributors in our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition. And they didn't have the facilities that we have now, like airplanes, cars, telephones. They have a bullock cart. So they put all the books in the bullock cars and they traveled to a distant city. It took them a long time. So, but on the way, we know what happened. Somebody stole those books. And anyway, the story is so long, so much anxiety, but later on it became, they found back the books. So the point here is that they spent so much time, they had a lot of compassion and for the conditioned souls, and now we are being benefited. So if we want to be successful in our Krishna consciousness preaching, we have to always remind ourselves the compassionate mood of these personalities. We, at least myself, I don't feel like I really have compassion, maybe some material compassion once in a while. They did. And Srila Prabhupada understood this, and he came to America with that compassionate mood and that humility, and see now what we have all over the world. So he is the fulfiller of the prediction of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and we are also part of that. We are contributing, helping Srila Prabhupada to expand this movement. Now, why do we distribute these books too? There's many reasons, but something that came to my mind also was, it's also even prior before the 6 Goswamis, the gopis are glorifying Krishna, saying, Tavakata mritam tapta jivanan kavi viriditan kalmasapahan Srivanan mangalan srimanatata grinante ye puri dajana. He says that the nectar of your words, they're talking to Krishna. The nectar of your words and your activities are the relief for all the conditioned souls. So everyone, we are all in this. We're all suffering and struggling, but there's no other way that they can be relieved, only by these activities and your pastimes. And we see now that in these books that the Goswamis wrote, that Srila Prabhupada put so much time in his purpose, that's exactly what it is. And then it goes saying that great sages, took that second step to distribute this book to benefit the whole world. Because by distributing these books, he says that they find some relief. They find some words there of upliftment, and it's happening. And he also said that these are surcharged with a lot of power in these books, in the words of the sadhus, the saintly person. And whoever is distributing these books, like in the case of the 6 Goswamis, Srila Prabhupada, and we are assisting, these personalities are super special. Buridhajana, So Lord Krishna is giving us all this facility. The gopis are reminding us this. The 6 Goswamis are reminding us. The 6 Goswamis are reminding us this. Srila Prabhupada is reminding us this. And we just have to assist this Sankirtan movement. And, it will be good for us, it will be good for them, for the whole world. Because as you were saying, there's a lot of miseries and struggles. And as I'm speaking right now, somebody whispered in my ear this morning that a big catastrophe is happening in South America. That's bad news. You will hear later on. But anyway, bad news are there. Dukalaya masaswatan. This material world is like at every step, any spark thing, sparkling like this, like troubles. But here we have the solution. So we just have to be it, live it, and distribute it. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hari Bol. Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to read a couple of things here that I thought were kind of cool. It comes from this, if you want, this is my request. Powerful little book. Just some excerpts from Srila Prabhupada. He says, I'm very glad to know that your sales of our literature and books are very good and improving more. It is natural that such distribution of literature should increase as the people hear more about Krishna consciousness movement. So, distribution of our books and literatures is our major propaganda program. read a few more. Prabhupada says, I want that each and every one of my centers should be fully stocked with my books, with all of my books. This is something that LA Temple really, we're absorbed in that. We have a go down, and there we keep all these books profusely, which is really important. It was an instruction of Prabhupada. Yes, we are fighting impersonalism and voidism with pure devotional service. Impersonalism and voidism kills the natural aptitude of devotion, which is lying dormant in everyone's heart. Therefore, we are printing books like our Krishna book, so that people may know that the Supreme Absolute Truth is a person. The perfection of every living creature is to render transcendental loving service to that Supreme Person, and thereby go back home, back to Godhead. Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita that whoever explains my transcendental glories to others is most dear to me in this world, and never will be there one more dear to me than he. Prabhupada again. So go on with your organization for distribution of my books through press and other modern media, and Krishna will certainly be pleased upon you. We can use everything, television, radio, movies, or whatever there may be, to tell about Krishna, and outside of devotional service, all of these modern paraphernalia are just so much rubbish. We can see what internet has done. If you get on internet, there's devotees that are profusely inundating the internet with Krishna consciousness. It's incredible if you go on YouTube, there's so much there from the devotees. And I know that when we travel, I bring my computer, and there I can have a whole morning program. Isn't that amazing? I'm right there. When I'm in India, I get on, and even though I'm not in Mayapur, I turn on Mayapur TV, and there you see Krishna, Nishingadev, Panchatattva, Radha Madhava, and you're thinking you're right there. You can see it. But so devotees are very exuberant and excellent in spreading the movement through the internet process. My Guru Maharaj used to say, don't worry about money. Do something nice for Krishna and money will come, end of quote. So we should always be thinking how to distribute the message of Krishna, and surely he will give us facility. Even an ordinary man, if he wants publicity, then he gives so much money for the propaganda work. Similarly, Krishna is not poor. He can supply any amount for the devotees engaged in broadcasting his glories. I can attest to that as being a temple president here for 40 years. I'd have to say this temple, as long as I've known, from the beginning to this point right now, has always had everything we've ever needed because of book distribution. And that's a fact. I mean, you take a look at the opulence of our deity worship. How is that possible? It's because of our book distribution. Everything comes because of that. In this temple, we've never lacked in anything. If you're a pujari, you can practically get whatever you want to make Krishna look beautiful. If you cook for the deities, very rarely are you ever told, no, you can't have it. You can have it. It's there for everyone. So this temple has always experienced that kind of richness about it. And it comes from book distribution. You take a look at our festivals. They're beautiful. I mean, people, for the Rath Yatra festival, look at the donations that people give for that festival. Huge amount. Over a couple $100,000 we collect every year for Rath Yatra festival. People give. So money comes. As long as we continue preaching and distributing Prabhupada's books, that will continue. So we really like everyone in the temple to support that book distribution in your own particular way. If you can't distribute books, at least support it with your words and your actions, and glorify the devotees that go out there and distribute and try to reach people that are completely, in the material world, absorbed in sense gratification, and they're walking up to that person and just breaking their whole meditation on this material existence. And it takes a lot of effort. If you've ever gone out and distributed books, you can see how much effort you have to put into it in order to have someone take a book. It's not an easy thing. Prabhupada, many fanatic spiritual movements have come and gone, but without the flawless philosophy of Krishna, they cannot stand. Therefore, I want especially that my books and literature should be distributed profusely. This is our substance, real philosophical information, not some weak sentiments. So try for this, to give all men this Krishna philosophy, and many real devotees will come with us home back to Godhead. If he buys one book, his life may be turned. That is best preaching work. A couple more. As soon as I see such increased book distribution figures, I take that to mean that all other programs are successful. Prabhupada is saying that's the success, as long as book distribution is going on. Whenever I get report of my book selling, I feel strength. Even now, in this weakened condition, I have got strength from your report. You should know that in this work, you have Krishna's blessings. Om Tat Sat. All right, thank you very much for your attention. So what I'll try to do now is just give some results of our book distribution in New Dwaraka Dham. I'll say the December Sankirtan results first. There's a lot of devotees that went out, so I'll just kind of get the top 14, 13, whatever we have here. We have 14, we have Krishnapad Prabhu. Yes, 400 small books and 222 Lakshmi points. Then Radharani Devidasi, 68 small, 27 medium, and 550 Lakshmi points. Shastrakrit Prabhu, 100 small, 11 medium, 4 big, 108 Mahabig, 566 Lakshmi points. Vamsi Lalita Devidasi, 70 small, 290 medium, 93 big, 132 Mahabig, 948 Lakshmi points. Tapas Prabhu, 150 medium, 148 big, 438 Mahabig, 1279 Lakshmi points. Krishna Kumar Prabhu, 530 small, 277 medium, 327 big, 765 Mahabig, 2,243 Lakshmi points. Dear Lalita Prabhu, 130 small, 650 medium, 211 big, 268 Mahabig, and 2,540 Lakshmi points. Satitanoy Prabhu, 3 small, 513 medium, 472 big, 274 Mahabig, 2,700 Lakshmi points. Prem Sankirtan Prabhu, 669 small, 477 medium, 456 big, 617 Mahabig, and 3,612 Lakshmi points. Sachidulal Prabhu, 10 magazines, 754 small, 121 medium, 769 Mahabig, 4,081 Lakshmi points. Brigupati Prabhu, 228 small, 455 medium, 473 big, 2,168 Mahabig, 3 sets of Bhagavatams, 11,000 Lakshmi points. Then we had Bhakti Bill, he gave 11,000 Lakshmi points. And we had our Gita Jayant, and that was 72,000 Lakshmi points. So, for the month, 10 magazines, 6,850 small, 3,790 medium, 2,927 big, 19,776 Mahabig, 168 Bhagavatam sets, 46,087 book points, and 157,237 Lakshmi points. All right, so we'll say for the annual, we'll go for the year. We'll just do the top-notch devotees since time is running out. We'll do the top 10, how's that? Okay, top 10 for the annual, for the year of 2025. Govinda Anandini Das, 190 medium, 812 big, 988 Mahabig, and 8,879 Lakshmi points. Rath Yatra books, 180 small, 3,188 medium, 20,000 Lakshmi points. Bhakti bill, 11,108 Lakshmi points. Dear Lalita Prabhu, 219 small, 3,186 medium, 1,500 big, 1,682 Maha big, 9 sets of Bhagavatams, and 19,282 Lakshmi points. Prem Sankirtan, 3,489 small, 4,500 medium, 5,067 big, 4,782 Maha big, 3 sets of Bhagavatams, 27,283 Lakshmi points. And then we had Parameshwar, 6,624 Maha big, 125 sets, and 29,470 Lakshmi points. Sachitanoi Prabhu, 251 small, 5,405 medium, 5,618 big, 1,741 Maha big, 30,000 Lakshmi points. The Gita Jayant, of course we said that, 72,000 Lakshmi points. And Brigupati Prabhu, 928 small, 5,621 medium, 5,740 big, 18,687 Maha big, 133 sets, and 96,341 Lakshmi points. It's not a bad job. They're really good. Amazing, can you imagine? Book distribution, doing that kind in the streets, on campuses, and giving books and begging for Lakshmi. And you can do 100,000 Lakshmi points. Incredible. It's surrendered soul. So altogether we had about 56 devotees that went out, and the total for 56 devotees was 467 magazines, 27,110 medium, 629 big, Maha big books, 60,760, and sets, 473 sets of Bhagavatams and Chaitanya Charitamritas. Yes, 401,998 Lakshmi points for the year. Okay, one last little part we're going to talk about here, and that is the 2025 results. So, from Sankirtan, gift shop, the buffet, Rath Yatra, Sunday feast, other festivals, membership, the Hundi box, the Bhagavad Gita Museum, BBT and ISKCON Property Division. So those particular categories, they were very, very helpful in the distribution of books in the temple. The Sankirtan team did over 400,000. The gift shop, 300,000. The buffet, 300,000. And the gift shop and the buffet and the ISKCON Property Division, they actually gave the temple 250,000 Lakshmi points. It was a big help, a very big help for the functioning of the temple. So, yes, magazines distributed, 11,108. Small books, 37,387. Medium books, 32,050. Big books, 27,180. Maha big books, 63,822. That meant we did about 47,222 Bhagavad Gitas. And then sets was 497. So that altogether came to 400 Bhagavatam sets, 97 Chaitanya Charitamrita sets. So total books distributed, 172,044 books distributed this year. And the BBT remittance was 405,000 Lakshmi points. Srila Prabhupada's book distribution, ki jai. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada, ki jai.